What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with another Operation Trebuchet news update. So, this week we've got a bit more to talk about than we have had for the last couple of weeks. I do apologize if I kind of delay or stutter. I've just had a really long work week and I'm feeling kind of sick right now all of a sudden. So, we're going to try and get through this here. Now, like always, we're going to start with the official stuff and then get into the non-official stuff. So, starting on the official side, we have Jedi Nick up first to bat, showing further pictures of his laser designator, I should say picture singular. This one is also showing a bug just like previously, showing in the binocular slot, and it's the binocular animation, which clearly isn't correct. But this does give us the opportunity to see the weapon from the side and a better in-game shot of what it'll probably look like. Beyond that, we've got Immortal Phoenix. He's up next. He's currently working on the Halo 3 pilot helmet. This helmet was already in-game at one point through Tim's mod. Tim had his own model that he had put in. Since Tim's mod is no longer around, that Halo 3 pilot helmet he had placed in is of course gone too. He did release a manual download for his mod prior to removing it from the workshop. However, that download does not include the helmets he made. Beyond that though, Immortal Phoenix, while he's working on this helmet and it looks really good, he's also working on one other project he talked about, which is the Air Assault helmet. Now, if you guys pay attention, you may recall he already completed the Air Assault helmet and released it in OpCan. Well, as it turns out, he's working on another one. Same helmet, but this version will be released in the main mod, the main Operation Trebuchet mod that is, and it will be a higher poly model. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures to share of this, so you guys are just going to have to keep looking at the pilot's helmet. Sorry. Speaking of the main mod, though, we've got some more stuff to talk about, less development-wise and more people-wise. So, first of all, we've got kind of an interesting development. So, about a week or so ago, the mod changed its Discord name from Operation Trebuchet to Article 2 Studios. Article 2 Studios is, of course, the name the dev team goes by. They don't just call themselves the Operation Trebuchet developers. I mean, they do, but they also call themselves Article 2 Studios. Now, this in of itself wouldn't necessarily be too interesting. However, along with the change came a number of new developers. Their names are listed now on the Discord right under the A2S Optrade devs, is now the A2S SCE. Nobody really knows what SCE stands for. Some really eagle-eyed people who are paying attention to the list of community members saw the change as soon as it happened. They asked the dev team, hey, what's SCE? What does that stand for? The development team has been very tongue-in-cheek. The SCE devs have been very quiet themselves. They haven't really interacted with the community yet. A couple of posts here or there, but mainly just, same thing. People are asking, what's SCE? Hey, tell us what SCE is. And they're just like, nope, sorry, can't. That's classified. Or we have no idea what you're talking about. It's just a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. A couple of community members have theorized it has something to do with the Covenant. I believe somebody said special Covenant environments or something along those lines. That could be. It could definitely be a Covenant mod. I know a lot of people basically have been begging for that, and there's a few people who've tried to develop for it in various ways. Morthon's Brutes, for instance, and a couple of dev teams that have tried to less legitimately develop some Covenant assets by tearing stuff from other games and mods, including some of the dev's own work. Beyond that, though, we really don't know for sure what it is. I tried to do some digging of my own to see if I could maybe find something outside of the Optrade Discord, something in the greater Arma community. The only thing that really comes close is there is a thing on GitHub and a couple of things on YouTube for the Simulated Civilian Evacuation script, which is an Arma 3 script. And the only thing that I don't know that this is it, even though it has the same abbreviation of SCE. The developer is different than anybody who's listed on the Discord. Of course, you can change your name on Discord and stuff like that, but I'm kind of thinking that's probably not it. I think it's just a coincidence in naming, although it could be. It's hard to say for sure. But let's get into something that's got a little bit more tangibility to it. There is one last bit of news for the dev team, and that is Nightovizard made it into the entry dev position. I'm assuming that is because Madrigal will probably be given to the main mod at some point. I don't know if that's his plan or not, but since it is dependent on the mod, and it's pretty good quality, I would think that's probably where he's going with joining the dev team. Beyond that, he is also further updating Madrigal on the Steam Workshop. He's added, my favorite part so far probably is the hotel he just added. Massive hotel. He took the Ghost Hotel, he duplicated it, so it's basically two hotels put right next to each other seamlessly. And then he put it somewhat underground. So basically you've got the tunnel network and stuff that's been used for building interiors. It links to a small underground tunnel network with some small rooms and stuff. Really neat stuff. He's also updated a bunch of other areas. I think he's added in some new buildings and stuff. The problem is he's going at such a fast rate, I'm having a hard time keeping up with him. I will have some images and stuff, but mostly the big other thing he's doing is a retexture mod. So this mod here that he's working on with these retextures will be a combination of vanilla Arma assets meets Optray assets. He's shown off some UNSC stuff, and he sent me even a early release of his mod, saying it's very work in progress. Now, the release he sent me, as far as I can tell, only contains Insurrection assets. Now, the Insurrection assets all look pretty good. There's still a lot of them that haven't been completed. It does also include one UNSC unit, which was presumably going to be retextured for the Insurrection. Most of these have their own custom camouflage that they're following, a similar scheme on all of them. The only one that varies from that is the fighter jet, which he's listing as the F-12 bayonet. And the F-12 bayonet is basically following the same color scheme of the longsword with a black and white. Now, of course, all these have been renamed, but they are all based off of actual vehicles. So you have the F-181 Black Wasp 2, which is the F-12. You know, you've got the Blackfoot, which is now the RAH-94 Raven, and so on and so forth. Basically just following, you know, regular naming conventions from Halo. So, you know, fighters based off swords, tanks off of things like elephants and mastodons, stuff like that. So that's pretty interesting. What else do we have here? We've got stuff. That's it. That's it. I don't feel like that's it, guys. But I think that's it. So yeah, we've got that. We've got a lot of stuff. I've tried to keep it obviously a little bit shorter following the current convention. So we're at about 8.5 minutes. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this update. You know, obviously it's maybe not a lot of stuff you can get your hands on quite yet. But as always, in the comments below, let me know what you guys are most excited for. What do you want to get your hands on the most? What are you looking forward to the most? What do you want to see yourselves that maybe hasn't been in the news yet? Let me know in the comments below, like always. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And then I would like to do a bit of an aside here. Now, this is where the Operation Trebuchet news ends. For those of you who stick around and watch the Monday and Wednesday content, I would like to apologize to you guys about this past week. Now, as I said, I was in an 11-day work week. So Monday came around, I went and released my video. Now, at some point, I lost audio on my video. I'm assuming that had happened when I uploaded it, and I must have deleted the audio track or something. I can't quite figure out how that happened. I'm pretty sure I went back and viewed it after saving, but I must not have or something. But it was missing its audio. So I took down my Lumoria campaign part 2. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just have to re-edit it and put the audio back in. That's no big deal. It's kind of a big deal because the audio is missing and the original file is deleted. So I have to re-record that video. So I replaced that video with a different one I had planned to release on Wednesday, which was my Dante's Inferno meets ODST video talking about how the two are related. Because I moved that up to Monday, I no longer had a Wednesday video up and ready for release. I did record a video on Tuesday, but I never had the opportunity to get around and edit it and release it in time for the Wednesday release, so you guys didn't get one. I would like to apologize about that, guys. Obviously, it's one of those things that's really kind of hard to avoid. But anyways, guys, like always, I hope you guys like this video. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.